Turning up the heat tonight, we have the safety tips you need to know with the official start of summer.
Hot temperatures are on the way for this week. Temperatures in the 90s, but tracking potentially record-breaking heat for this upcoming weekend.
We are 10 days away from the state fully reopening. We'll tell you tonight how local entertainment venues who have been hard hit by the pandemic plan to welcome their full audiences back. Well, good evening. It is great to have you here with us tonight. I'm Joshua Robinson, and as the temperatures continue to warm up across the inland Northwest, the Spokane Fire District posted this graphic to their Facebook page about how to stay safe this summer. Here's what you need to know. Limit your outside time. Don't leave children or pets in hot cars, even for a moment. Check up on your elderly neighbors. And lastly, make sure to stay hydrated. Heat-related deaths can be preventable, so that is why our local firefighters want to keep these reminders when temperatures go past 90 degrees. Taking a look now in Pierce County, the Sheriff's Department says a 29-year-old man has died after he drowned in Lake Tapps. Ahead of this weekend, deputies are warning people to be careful when they're out on the water and that it's a lot colder than you think.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are familiar with that sensation you get when you step out of a really warm environment into a really cold water, and your body can react differently. Sometimes it can cause cramps or cause you to really freeze up, and it can limit your abilities in the water.
Some other safety tips include wearing a life jacket, swimming with a buddy, and making sure you're aware of your limits. And of course, all of these issued warnings come as the weather continues to get warmer and warmer. And as Michelle Boss joins us, it's going to get hotter and hotter coming into next weekend too.
Yeah, I think the warmest temperature we've seen this year has been 94 degrees, and I'm pretty sure we're going to be surpassing it, if not during the work week, but certainly for the upcoming weekend. Take a look at the temperature trend. This is the average, that black dotted line, a comfortable 75 to 77 degrees. And you can see we are expecting to be nowhere near average this entire week, with highs from the low to mid 90s Monday through Friday. But then it looks like record-breaking heat possible for this Saturday and Sunday with some of our earliest 100-degree temperatures. Other than that, we are looking at quiet weather with mostly clear skies out here. No rain in sight, unfortunately, in the forecast for pretty much the next 7 days. Temperatures outside right now, not too bad. 70 in Spokane. Quite a bit cooler, though, in Sandpoint. 55 in Sandpoint, and 20 degrees warmer out there in Wenatchee, still at 78 degrees. Here's a look at your short-term forecast. Quiet weather for the overnight hours. Will bottom out in the upper 50s to around 60. Temperatures should be up in the lower 70s by 9 o'clock with plenty of sunshine tomorrow. And then we're going to get up into the 90s, and then we're going to stay there. 91 on Monday, 94 on Tuesday, 91 again on Wednesday.
In a developing story, we continue to follow what we first brought to you as breaking news yesterday. 7 people were injured in an apartment fire yesterday afternoon in Spokane. We do have an update for you tonight on the firefighter that was injured. He is okay and has been released from the hospital with minor injuries. We still do not have word yet on what caused the fire or any word on the person who was airlifted to Seattle for their injuries. This is an ongoing story, and we will continue to keep you updated as more information becomes available. Meanwhile, in Chelan County, Sheriff's Office is issuing a level 1 evacuation for Yaxham Canyon and Mission Creek to Sand Creek area because of a wildfire. This means people need to be ready to leave in a moment's notice. 6 fire engines are responding, and as of right now, we don't know how many acres have been burned. Of course, we'll keep you updated as that information comes into our newsroom. Well, Washington will be set to fully reopen in 10 days, maybe even sooner, if the state hits Governor Jay Inslee's goal of 70% of the state having started their vaccination process. This would mean almost all restrictions would be lifted, although state health officials do say some rules will stay in place. As our Ian Smay reports tonight, local businesses are excited for things to go back to being close to normal.
Within the next 10 days, things will go back to normal at the Spokane Comedy Club.
The minute they give us the word that we can go back to full capacity, that's when we'll set up for full capacity.
The club, a Spokane favorite, has been open during the pandemic. They've only been allowed to operate at half of their normal capacity of 300 people. But by the end of the month, that will change, and co-owner Kevin Fant is excited.
It means we can finally go back to 100% after well over a year and what 15 months now. Very exciting. It feels like grand opening all over again when we first opened the club 6 years ago.
The full reopening date may come even sooner, too. Governor Jay Inslee has reaffirmed that if the state hits his benchmark of 70% of those 16 and older having received at least one shot of a COVID-19 vaccine before June 30th, the state will reopen sooner. As of Sunday, the Washington State Department of Health listed the vaccine rate at 67.8%. Whichever comes first, the vaccine rate reaching 70% or June 30th, is when venues like the Spokane Comedy Club will be able to fully reopen. Fant says the news will be well received by performers.
The performers are excited. They feed off the energy of the room, and when you have a full room of 300 people, the energy for them is electric.
Fant also says they have job openings for all positions for the comedy club as they've been staying busy. He added that the expanded capacity will help with some of the demand for tickets, especially when some bigger names come through town.
The customers are excited too, because a lot of the shows that we've had sell out fast because we're only at 50% capacity. So getting back to the full capacity means we can, more people can get tickets to come to the shows.
While the state may be close to reopening, things won't be going completely back to normal just yet. The State Department of Health said some restrictions will stay in place. Secretary of Health Dr. Umar Shah says unvaccinated people will still be asked to wear masks indoors and in crowded outdoor settings where physical distancing isn't possible. This is in line with what the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention recommend for unvaccinated people. Reporting in Spokane, Ian Smay, Krem2 News.
Thank you, Ian. Looking ahead now, Cannabis and Glass is the newest addition to the state's Joint for Jabs incentive program. The vaccination event will be held at 3 of their Spokane area stores on June 24th and 25th. They'll be giving out 1 free joint to people over the age of 21, and they will be administering the Moderna vaccine. The location and the dates can be seen on the right side of your screen right now. Meanwhile, the city of Spokane will be distributing free PPE to small businesses and nonprofits this Tuesday. To qualify, businesses must have 249 employees or less. Nonprofits can be any size. They'll be distributing things like hand sanitizer, disinfecting cleaner, and face coverings. Again, it's going to be Tuesday, held at the Spokane County Fairgrounds from 9 in the morning till 3 p.m. If you get a parking ticket in Spokane later this month, don't be surprised if it's a little more expensive than usual. The city will be raising parking fees from $15 to $30 on June 28th. Officials say the increase comes after a parking study found that the fee wasn't high enough to change behavior. There will still be a late fee of $25 if a parking ticket is unpaid after 15 days. And hey, drive-in fireworks shows will return for 4th of July this year. City of Spokane Parks and Recreation, along with numerous partners, brought them back after they were so popular last year. And they will be at the Dwight Merkel Sports Complex, Ferris High School, Avista Stadium, and Plants Ferry Sports Stadium. All of the shows will start at 10 p.m. and the event is free. Still to come tonight. For months now, the Canadian border has been closed due to coronavirus restrictions, and now that frustration is growing as there is loud pressure from both sides to relax restrictions.